What if I told you that we can no longer go out of our homes, at least not as we're used to? Going out would imply breathing toxic air that makes us sick to death. Would we use masks? Oxygen tanks? How would our lives be affected? This is why I want to talk about air pollution today. What fossil fuels are, the direct effects it has on our health, and the long-term consequences of the pollutants once they're released into the air. Throughout our lives, we have probably come across with the term fossil fuels, and perhaps that burning them is bad for the environment. But what are fossil fuels in the first place? Fossil fuels are nothing more than the fossilized and the buried remains of animals and plants that lived millions of years ago. I know, it sounds scary, but because of the origin, fossil fuels have a high carbon and hydrogen content. Some examples are coal, oil, and natural gas, which can be burned for energy, whether to fuel our cars, power factories, or keep the lights on in our homes. The problem is that once we burn the fossil fuels, the carbon and hydrogen that they contain are released into the environment. Once we have identified the source of the problem, we can start discussing the direct effects that these emissions have on our health. Breathing air with high concentrations of carbon monoxide can lead to dizziness, confusion, loss of consciousness, critical damage to organs such as the brain or the heart, or ultimately death. This is really worrying and are cases that have started to cure. For example, that of Ella Roberta, the first death due to air pollution. Her mother, Rosamund Kissy Deborah, is an activist for breathing clean air is every child's human right. She tells us how the pollution around the area where she lived was far above the levels accepted by the WHO. This is why entities such as the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, a US federal agency responsible for the protection of the environment, have begun to set air quality standards for major pollutants ranging from carbon monoxide to nitrogen dioxide to sulfur dioxide. However, air pollution affects us not only as humans, but other species as well, including other ecosystems. It is not only about the emissions of gases that are released directly into the atmosphere, but the subsequent chemical reactions of the pollutants once they're released into the air. One of the most severe reactions is the acidification of the oceans, as mentioned by Davidson Tisch, the author of the Gale Encyclopedia of Environmental Health. This occurs when the carbon dioxide that was into the atmosphere is dissolved with the water, forming carbonic acid, acidifying the water and generating a change in its potential of hydrogen. This affects many marine species such as coral reefs, affecting their skeletal density, leading to their death. Air pollution is a global pandemic. It is an environmental issue that we've been dragging for years, and as we can see, not only affects us as humans, but other ecosystems and the species that inhabit them, mainly by the emissions of carbon monoxide produced by the burning of fossil fuels generated primarily by vehicles and machinery. Thank you for your attention.